Hey guys, thanks for tuning in today. We're going to review this Koken reversible ratchet that I purchased from overseas. And as many of you may know, Koken is a Japanese manufacturer of tools. So here's the box that it comes in. It's a nice little, dainty little cardboard box. And it does give the part number on this far side here. It is part number 3725Z. This is their shorter ratchet. We'll pull it out here for you guys to take a look at. And in this case, you can order these with or without the push button release. I ordered mine without the push button release. And you can get them in also different lengths. This is a 3/8 inch drive. You go 1/2 inch as well and 1/4 inch. And you can see here there is a nice stamping here of Koken 3725Z. And so this is the ratchet overall. So there's some unique things about this ratchet. I want to go over them because it does get a lot of buzz, a lot of hype. It is very nicely built, put together, very unique. For the handle here, it's almost like a mixture of plastic and rubber. You can actually see where it's been rubbed right here. So it is hard plastic, but it does have a satin feel to it. Now in the hand, right, this isn't extra long. I think it's 7 and something inches long, so definitely not on the long side. And you can see on the inside there's a roll stamp that says "Made in Japan." Now, what's nice about these ratchets is the selector. It is nice. It is opposite of the direction you're pointing to, so that is worth noting. Has a plate on the bottom. It is actually nicely fitted inside of there. And the anvil has a nice, let's see how good that fit is. There's your play, up and down. So nice tight fitting inside there as well. It does use one screw. Looks like it's a torque screw that goes all the way through to keep it in place. I do like that the selector too is also metal. It is not plastic. And it has a positive engagement as you click back and forth. So that is nice. And obviously chrome plating on the exterior. It isn't super duper smooth, or not exactly a mirror finish. There is a little bit of, I don't know if that's mineral deposits in there or just the manufacturing process, but you can see some dots almost in this portion of the handle. Less noticeable up here towards the head. And then on the end here, it does obviously go all the way through. That's worth noting too, not all manufacturers carry their handle all the way through past the actual grip. Some of them will actually put them into here, and then they'll just have a plastic piece that floats on the end. So that is notable that this extends past your actual grip area. So definitely nice there. Now I want to take a quick look inside because so Koken has many of these out, and maybe quite a few already have the 36 tooth version of this. It would probably sound a little closer to your traditional Craftsman, right? A little clunkier, and they got a bad rap for a bit making them for as long as they did in the 36 tooth style. The newer version, which is several years old now, carries the same part number, but it is a 72 tooth. So let's take a quick look inside here and let you guys see. You just use the simple Torx, and it is only the one screw that holds this all together. You can see here, it looks like it's got a little bit of thread lock on the end. And then we'll pull this cover off. Now it's worth noting that cover plate, that is actually substantially thick. Thicker than many manufacturers put on theirs. So that is nice to know that it is that solid, that rigid, because when you're going to put the extra force on your ratchet when working on something, you're going to want that cover to not deflect from the inside, right, to bend this outwards. You can see there's a little bit of oil in here, which is nice to see, and some good machining for all of the detents and reliefs for the mechanisms inside. So let's take a look at the inside. Now, if you guys watch my videos, I've done multiple videos of the inside of these ratchets to see what they look like. But what's unique about this style is, one, 72 tooth, so that's an increase. But it has this pawl here, and then it has a secondary piece of the pawl, kind of like a floating pawl. So as you hit the selector on the back side to change positions, we'll go ahead and do that now. Right, it slides back and forth. It engages those teeth, and we could count those teeth for you real quick. You're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 teeth either direction that you go that will fully engage. And then what's notable here is on the top, and let me see if I can actually demonstrate it to you, is this kind of floating pawl will actually pop up and move as you're ratcheting. And a good way to visualize that is actually here on the top. As I hold this and I spin it, watch to see this, the main pawl here below. See how much it rocks. Because a traditional pawl on any of these other ratchets, and the ratchets that you own, they're going to want to shimmy and shake really fast. And you'll see them move a lot. Alright, so do you see how much that moved? Get you guys a good angle. Very little. It's almost as if it's taking out that full function and minimizing that skipping and back pressure that's going to be put on the anvil here. So what's nice about that, and what that translates to, guys, is minimum back drag. You're not having to ride the full tooth in and out of its groove each time it goes back, because that pawl is absorbing the majority of that click. It's allowing it to slide and move back and forth, and that way this main pawl doesn't have to have that same amount of energy pressed back against the tooth and have to run that full function. So again, that translates into a really smooth and light back drag for a 72 tooth ratchet. So I really like that, and I think that's why they get a lot of attention, and I believe that's even patented as well. So Koken's the only one that has this style, which is great for them. I mean, it's a great technology. Now, there is a little bit of oil in there. I would honestly like to see a little bit more oil. Yeah, not too bad, but again, I like to see more. And it's also not sealed, no O-rings or gaskets to seal this head. So if you're working on oily tool or oily, whatever it is, engine or bolts or whatever you're diving into, if it's oily, odds are you'll get some of that transferred inside here, including some dirt. So I wish they would do an O-ring on this style, especially for how nice this ratchet is. But let's go ahead and put that back on. And I want to show you kind of the difference between the back drag, between a couple different ratchets we have here. And maybe put it into effect so you can see on a fastener what that's going to look like. So really easy putting it back together. One screw going in the back. Tighten her back up. Doesn't have to be super tight. And there you go. She's back into place. Super easy to do. Okay, so for example, let's go back to the first iteration. In many tools, if you guys are, old school, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 36 tooth, this is very common. Really clunky. A lot of back drag right here right now. Right? It's having to ride that mountain of a gear in order to skip across. So 36 tooth, we'll jump up, actually jumping up a little bit higher. I think this is actually 90 tooth on the icons, but very smooth. But even still, there's some back drag to that. I mean, compared to the Koken, Koken's smoother, hands down. So 90 tooth, and then imagine 72 tooth, very similar 92, but probably even just a little bit more back drag on average. And again, that depends on the manufacturer, tolerances. Not all of them are going to be the same. You can't say all 120s are going to be better, or all 72 tooths are better, or all 36s are terrible. There's a lot in play, but it's just worth noting here now as I'm showing you these side by side, how they sound and how they appear for what I have as far as my ratchets. So this here is going to be your gear wrench 120 XP. So 120 tooth, has 2 pawls in it at 60 teeth each. So it doubles as 120. And they're set at just staggered of each other. So that allows you to get 122 tooth. So that one feels really good. Really minimal back drag. I like that a lot. Comparatively, it's going to be pretty close to the Koken. So let's test that out actually on, you know, here's a fastener. So what's the big deal with back drag? The big deal with back drag is the fact that when you're trying to put a fastener on or you're trying to take it off and you're ratcheting and you're in a tight place and you can't really get your fingers up in there, you want the ratchet to take that fastener as far as it can, either in or all the way out, without you trying to pull the tool out, mess with it with your hands, and then go back and forth between the two. You want this to get it from right here, this is finger tight. You want to get it from finger tight all the way to tight if you can. So let's put the Koken on here. We're going to tighten real quick. And this is really loose, but you can probably hear the gears going. We'll get it go a little tighter. It's going to start tightening up in just a second. There's just a little bit of dirt on here from earlier. There you go. And there you go. That is still finger tight, and it's doing that. So that is an amazing characteristic that not all ratchets have. Now, if I try to do that with the 36 Craftsman, not going to happen. I might get a click out there every once in a while. No work. A 90 tooth. Oh, I got a couple teeth on there. Started to kind of go there. I think I'm getting down here where the dirt's at, so let's engage in a little bit better. We'll back that back off on the threads again and give it to this guy. Well, kind of, it was doing good there. Has a couple skips. So I would say between the 120 gear wrench and the Koken, which is a 72 tooth ratchet, it's punching well above its tooth count, and it's doing it because of that design of the pawl. That is a great pawl design, and the good news is you're not stuck with just this shorter ratchet. You could order much larger ones, either fixed handles, or you could do the flex heads. They got several options out there for you guys, depending on what your needs are. And I would say if you're in the realm, especially right now with Japanese prices, because of the yen, if you're looking at Japanese tools, now would be the time to look at these. You could order them directly on Amazon or Amazon Japan, if you can find a better deal sometimes that way. But they do stock these locally, when I say locally, within the U.S., so you don't necessarily have to wait for long wait times. So, great ratchet. Lifetime warranty. If you hop on Amazon USA, I think they're between $30 and $40 right now to order this one. As you go up, you could go up to 60, 70, 80, $100 for some more specialized flex heads that are, you know, extra long lengths. But it just really depends on what your flavor is. They will have something to help you out for the most part. So, anyways, guys, thanks for checking in. Thanks for watching. Please give a thumbs up and like. And if you haven't, subscribe, because we drop videos like these on the regular. All right, guys. Talk to you soon.